Hey, what's up, guys? Mr. Freecoiner coming back to you again today. Hope you guys are doing well and taking care of yourselves. So, today has been a very nice day. We've seen some pops in price, although it hasn't gotten us back to where we were just a couple months ago, but that's fine, right? It still gives us the opportunity to increase our bags. You might want to buy more, get into more projects. I've actually stuck my toe in a few more. The things that I'm expecting over the next couple months. I'm really hoping it just absolutely blows all of our minds. Last couple months obviously hasn't been great, right? It hasn't been great, but it's necessary. Of course, I was predicting that we would see much more action back, January and all of that, but it didn't happen. But it's a good thing it didn't. A lot, not to mention, so much stuff has been going on in the background. Who could have ever predicted that we would have the tariffs and all this stuff that has happened? Now we're seeing the dollar has been crashing. It's the markets are going to do what they do, right? We're just here for the ride, and we have to take advantage of the opportunities as they are presented, right? So, again, today we finally saw some action outside of that sideways motion and just the down. I'm expecting within the next couple months or over the summer possibly, and this is because I've been following some of the analysts out there, some of the people who are kind of know what they're talking about, I guess. But all in all, I can see where things are building. Like the global liquidity has broken out. So many different things have happened and are happening. So I think at least I'm preparing for everything to just go crazy. That's just what I'm doing. I mean, whatever you guys figure you need to do that. Of course, I need to say that I'm not a financial advisor. Please don't take anything I'm saying as advice to buy or sell or do anything. I'm just giving my opinion here. So yeah, that being said, let's go ahead and get into the news articles that I've found for you guys. Now, the first one I want to look at here, ETF approval could suck up supply like a vacuum and pump price higher. Yeah, this obviously with more use, more demand, especially if it's a major ETF. Yeah, and I'm going to show you a list of all the ETFs that are in play right now. But let's just talk about this real quick. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm sure you guys can. If you guys can see it, get the idea. But if you're just listening, check this out. So here's some of the highlights here. XRP ETFs could remove coins from market, creating less supply and higher prices. Supply and demand. We know about that. If the supply goes down, demand goes up, and hopefully price does too, right? Analyst predicts XRP price could reach $27 if ETF approval goes through. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that? Now, I was predicting, even though the timing it's just like totally impossible. You cannot guess the timing. Now, me personally, I think a lot has to do with the fact that XRP missed its last cycle run, when it didn't reach its full potential. I think it has to make up for a lot of that because of all of the activity that was still going on in the background. Yeah, a lot of it did slow down, but there was still activity. Even back then, XRP or Ripple was getting more, or they were signing more contracts than anybody. So the work never stopped. And now that all of that stuff is over, we still have one nagging little thing. But once that's all done, XRP is totally free and clear to do its thing. Now, the next item here, BlackRock's potential ETF involvement could trigger massive XRP demand with its $11 trillion assets. That would be absolutely crazy. XRP wouldn't need $1 trillion to get to 27 or 11. I'm sorry, $11 trillion to get to $27, right? I think when I did the market cap math, whatever, 1 trillion, if it hit 1 trillion, I think it was at like 27, or I'm sorry, about $20. If I'm remembering correctly, I think 11 trillion, which I doubt very seriously they're going to pump $11 trillion into it. But if it did happen, I couldn't even tell you where it would go. I mean, that would be absolutely mind-boggling. XRP ETFs could act like vacuum cleaners, right? So basically sucking up all of the supply, of XRP that's out there and just making it more scarce. I mean, look at what's happening with Bitcoin, right? I mean, we're not that far from the total number of, even though it's going to take a whole lot of years to get all the Bitcoin out, even still, I think it's like at 19 million that have already been mined, maybe 20 million, something like that. A lot. I mean, way far more than the majority have already been mined. So when you decrease, and then most of that has already been taken up, or it's being held. A lot of the miners are still holding on to it. We got MicroStrategy that's buying up Bitcoin, and all these other states and countries that are saying that they're going to buy up Bitcoin. So, sucking all of that supply out of the market is just going to increase the demand and then price. So XRP is subject to the same things. I think we have a lot to look forward to. These next couple years are really, well, I'll say the next cycle, I think, is going to be just absolutely crazy. Now, this one is going to be crazy too, right? We could hit $30. I know most of you guys have a lot of XRP out there. And I'm sure most of you, if you sold at $20, it's going to set you up for life, So that's just an awesome thought because, with me being part of this community since 2018 and I've had my rough patches here with the channel and everything, but, I've always been an XRPer, period, of just my thing. It's good to see the light at the end of the tunnel for us. So just great. Now I'm going to go ahead and go over some of these other titles again. I'm not going to read into this because it's going to take forever, and plus I'm talking a lot. All right, clear regulation might unlock XRP's daily use. Obviously, it could be used to pay for who knows what, right? In the banks, just personal use, buying a house, buying a car. I would rather that happen so I don't have to necessarily convert everything over to USD, but obviously we have to do that to hold on to the value that we get out of it. Because if you stay in it, it's just going to drop back down, and all the waiting would have been for naught. The last title: How high can XRP go if ETF approved? Well, you know what? I'll actually go ahead and read this one. It says, recently, Coinpedia News reported that crypto analyst eGreg Crypto believes XRP has the potential to soar as high as $27 if an XRP ETF gets approved. As of now, XRP is trading much lower than that, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. There's a possibility that it could hit $27. Me personally, I'm not just banking on that. I I have my levels, I'll say, that I know I'm going to sell quite a lot at. And I'm sure you guys have, you do too. But I will keep a moon bag. I absolutely will. And just to see, hey, if it gets up this high, great. If it doesn't, it's not going to hurt me to hang on to it. I was, like I said, honestly, I have a certain amount that I'm planning on hanging on to, whether it's a moon bag or, whatever, because I think after this cycle, it's going to be hard to get the amount of XRP that most of us have accumulated over the last few years. All right, so enough about that. Let's go ahead and move on. I wanted you guys to listen to this. Okay, so this is the company that Ripple purchased, and just listen to this, and I'll get back.
Well, then that's essentially enabling the bridging of the digital asset space to TradFi, which is extremely exciting. Also, the XRP ledger will be used as a post-trade for all of Hidden Row's prime brokerage services. We also see that this captive audience of 300 institutional customers is a really interesting portfolio of customers that will and do need digital asset infrastructure, which these customers will be able to take advantage of our payment and custody solutions as well.
So that's, yeah. Hidden Road is going to do quite a lot for XRP, for Ripple. There's just a lot of unlocked potential. There are a lot of people out there who don't have access to XRP or don't know anything about it. It's just being opened. I mean, the highways are being built. They are, they're slowly being opened. And again, it's going to be crazy. I mean, it's hard to say how all of this is going to play out, right? Because what we're used to is the old world of crypto, when nobody, none of the government officials were, were positive on it. They didn't care, and they wanted to stamp it down because it helps us. It helps us get to higher level, higher, net worth, basically. So we're in a positive or pro crypto environment. It's hard to say where this is going to end up. We don't even know if everything is going to stay the same. These cycles that we've been looking at, we've been seeing, just being kind of attached to the stock market. It's hard to say what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to play my cards as if everything is, going along the way it has been. But at the same time, I'm going to keep my eyes open and, just see what's going on here, because it's really seeming like things could go differently, but we'll see. So the next article, this, I don't think I'm going to go through everything because this is going to be pretty long. All right, so I'm going to try to hurry this up. Coinbase Derivatives lists XRP futures. This happened today, right? So the doors are being opened. The doors are being opened for XRP. And if you have, I'll be honest with you. I think if you have 10 or 15,000 XRP, if you are willing to gamble and you hold on to it, I'm not telling you to, but if it does reach that $27 level, that's going to be an extremely nice payday for you, right? Very nice payday. So again, I don't know, we'll see, but yeah, things are looking good for XRP. But I'm going to go ahead and read this one real quick. Coinbase has listed futures contracts for the XRP token on its U.S. derivatives exchange. The cryptocurrency platform said on April 21st, the contracts are overseen by the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, and offer traders a regulated, capital-efficient way to gain exposure to one of the most liquid digital assets, the company said in a post on its X platform. Coinbase XRP futures include standard contracts representing 10,000 XRP and retail-oriented nano contracts representing 500 XRP each, or approximately $1,000 as of April 21st, according to the regulatory filings. The contracts are the latest crypto futures to launch on Coinbase Derivatives Exchange, which also features Solana, Hedera, and futures contracts, both added in February. So yeah, more doors being open, more access to XRP, safer ways, and I'm sure just more comforting ways for people to get involved. I know a lot of folks are just kind of, they don't know. I mean, they're either new to the crypto market, or they're not sure what's actually a safe bet. But, with Coinbase being the, obviously the largest exchange or the most used, when they see something like this, it just gives them the warm fuzzies. So, all right. I'll try to see what I can do here. All right. Ripple Senior VP says Ripple is building a Swift-like update or replacement. Remember the last video? Ripple's infrastructure, a modernized alternative to Swift. So we already know this has been in the in play, right? Swift has always been in the sights of XRP or Ripple. So we don't know. I'm not gonna say this is what is going to happen. They're gonna replace Swift and all. I'm not gonna say that, but we already know XRP does what Swift does, which is moving money. So, yeah, we'll see. Moving on. Which crypto ETFs are next? Dogecoin, XRP, and Solana lead the list. Yeah, so, again, more doors being open. It can really, guys, we could be seeing something absolutely phenomenal just being built right now, right in front of us. And what gets me is that all these people out here that are hating on XRP, and it just makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. We got the one guy who was saying, yeah, XRP could get to $24 per coin, but don't buy it. That's just nuts. Why would you buy Bitcoin? Why in the world would you buy Bitcoin? Right? When Bitcoin is $87,000 and you can't even buy one. The average person can't buy one Bitcoin, but the average person can buy 100 XRP, 200, maybe 1,000 XRP. And if it gets to these heights, or even if they just hang on to it until it really goes in the next cycle. I mean, you can't do that with Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin may go to $1 million, $2 million, maybe. But will the return be the same as if you had 1,000 XRP? Most likely not, right? So yeah, I don't know. I don't get the hate. But anyway, that's all I have as far as this goes. I do want to, I almost forgot. I have to show you the list. There it is. So this is the list of ETFs that are in play right now. Where's my thingy, my knob? Okay. All right. So as you can see, there are quite a lot of, there's a lot of several coins, but XRP is taking up a lot of this space, right? I don't think, XRP is the most numerous in here. I think it's like 17 or something like that. But either way, so we got Grayscale, we got 21 shares, Bitwise, Carnegie, Wisdom Tree, CoinShares, Franklin. Let's go on down. Another Grayscale. And then we have the Tucrium, two of those. So yeah, I mean, guys, and just overall, not that I just want to harp on XRP. Of course, I'm more invested in that. But look, the crypto market is about to absolutely go crazy. A lot of big money is coming in finally, and if you're, it's hard for me to say that if you have just even a little bit of exposure, or even some of the coins that are, I mean, not necessarily the meme coins if you're willing to gamble, but even something like Doge or Solana or Litecoin or any of these, right? Any of these, you could do worse. So I think there's a lot coming our way, a lot to be excited about. And guys, I really feel like we're right on the precipice of something huge. So congratulations if you've been hanging on for a long time. We're finally going to get our just dues, right? Now, I did want to share something else with you guys. I'm really big into the health thing, and this is something I mentioned to you guys before, and I got a lot of people talking about, oh, don't use hydrogen peroxide, it's dangerous. Well, I'm going to let you listen to this. It's a minute 30. It's going to make it a little longer, but just check it out. And again, I mean, this same thing with the health, guys. You do what you feel is best for you. I take this. I haven't been sick in 4 years, so just check this out.
You want to go outside the country, or you're already outside the country, get a hold of Antonio Jimenez, Dr. Antonio Jimenez. He's got clinics in Tijuana and in Cancun, and he's been curing for 35 years people all naturally from any cancer on earth. You've got to consult those individuals.
And because I know this situation, I know that she was expected at one point 2 weeks ago to be dead in a couple of hours. So I think Julie's saying, what emergency thing would you do, if anything, to help?
Number one, I would slap a 7 milligram nicotine patch onto her, and I'm not joking. And then the next thing I would do, you have got to get the book, The 1 Minute Cure, and you need to start giving her food-grade hydrogen peroxide orally. It is known to cure almost every cancer on earth, and if you study with me, you'll learn why. Every cancer on earth is either parasitic or created by venoms. Hydrogen peroxide is a cure for both.
How much is that strong? It's food, how much, a teaspoon or what?
Yep. Food grade hydrogen peroxide. You can get it at earthharmony.com. It's 6% food grade hydrogen peroxide. We actually helped develop that to make sure it was clean, pure, non-toxic. So you take that and you actually only put like 3 to 4 drops in 6 to 8 ounces of water. Okay. And then you drink that. Upwards of 20 drops. You work up on the drops. You start on day 1 with 3 and you drink it. And in the book, The 1 Minute Cure, there's over 100 people who cured every single cancer on earth, and they were told it was terminal, they would die, and they used hydrogen peroxide to do it.
Are you the author of that?
So, guys, you know what I've always said, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. You can be the richest person in the world like Jeff Bezos and have bad health, and you can be taken out of here. And all of the wealth you've accumulated is for naught. I know myself, I take this. I do I do about every week. I take it 2 or 3 times, and I do anywhere between 10 and 15 drops. It doesn't taste great. You do notice it does have a taste, and it's not great. And I take it on an empty stomach, so that's another whole thing right there. You got to be ready for that. I take it in the morning on an empty stomach. If you're not ready for it, it will make you throw up. So just letting you know. But yeah, do your research on it, and and check it out. I mean, it has done wonders for me. I'll tell you that. So yeah, guys, if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that like button. Please hit the like button and hit that post notification button, and also the subscribe button. I'm just losing my brain here. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And guys, I do want to thank you. The last video did really well compared to many of my others. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you guys have been, watching. So hopefully this is, this is just a peek into what's to come. But I'm going to be putting out more content. So hopefully every day I'm working to do at least one video every day for the next 2 months. So let's see if that can happen. All right, guys, that being said, I definitely want to thank you again, and let you know that this has been Mr. Freecoiner. Take care of yourselves, and God bless.